All right, students, so let's do a quick review of the previous lesson. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now, I just want to do a brief review of the vocab from last week and see how well you guys remember it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Okay. So I'm just gonna go around and see how everyone is doing so far on the vocab. So just a request, if we have our books open, if we can close them, or if we have any notes. So let's start from Brother Danish. Alexander. Bait, how do you say, yes, what does bait mean?
Bait mean to give allegiance.
No, that's bay'ah.
Bay'ah,
Yes, it's baytun. What's baytun?
Bait is house.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Usaid, right? Usaid. We all know mosque. Okay, MashaAllah. Brother Riaz, door. Babun, okay. Sorry, I know you're Ibrahim's brother, but I don't know your name. Zubair, how do you say book? This is all easy. I think we know all of these. Bilal, pen. MashaAllah. And Brother Nizam, key. MashaAllah. And sorry, brother, I didn't get your name. Who will say? Anik. Brother Anik, how do you say writing table? Writing table? No? Maktabun, very good. Okay, I'm gonna come to the people online. Okay, Sister Amina, how do you say bed? You can also write it in the chat room. If you don't want to use a microphone, you can use the chat room too. Okay? You can use the chat room. Sister Amina, can you tell us the meaning of writing table? You can write it also on the chat in the chat box. Someone asked about a question last class. You mentioned that if there's nothing governing the last letter of a word, we use dhamma or dhammatain. Yes, we use dhamma or dhammatain. This is only for nouns, not for verbs, only for nouns. Yes, you were supposed to email the homework, Sister Rida. And I don't know if you guys sent it on Canvas in my class or you guys emailed it. Sarir. Okay, very good. Yes, so Sarir is bed. Next person, Brother Aslam, how do you say chair? How do you say chair?
Kursiya.
Kursiyun, very good. Next person, Iman, how do you say star? How do you say star? Najmun. Okay, very good. And shirt, Husna. How do you say shirt, Sister Husna? Qamisun, very good. And Maryam, how do you say doctor? Sister Maryam, how do you say doctor?
Tabib.
Yes, Tabibun, very good. Next, who do we have here? Muhammad Zahir. Muhammad Zahir. Oh, that's you? Okay, okay, sorry. Sister Razia, how do you say boy? Sister Razia, how do you say boy? Waladun. Very good. Waladun is boy. And Sister Rida, how do you say student? How would you say student? Okay, yes, talibun. Very good. And then next we have Sami'uddin. How would you say men? How do you say men?
رجل.
Okay, rajul. Brother Sami'uddin. Jazakallah khair. Rajulun. Merchant. For the next person, Shanza. How do you say merchant? Shanza Faras. How do you say merchant? Shanza Faras. How do you say merchant? Tajirun. Very good. Tajirun. Next person. Suhail. Suhail Muhammad. How do you say dog? How do you say dog? Suhail Muhammad. How do you say dog?
Kalaban.
Kalbun. Kalbun. And then we have Yasser Ahmad. How do you say cat? Yasser Ahmad. How do you say cat? Yes, Yasser Ahmad. How do you say cat? Hittun. Very good. Sister Zaida, how do you say donkey? Donkey. Himarun. Very good. Next, and we have Bilal. Bilal, this is you, right? In person? Or this is a different Bilal? Bilal, you're not online, are you? Okay, so this is you right here. It says Bilal. Nizam Ahmad, that's you. Okay, Riyaz Sheikh. Zubair, that's you as well. Okay, so let's come back to the brothers in person. Brother Danish, how do you say horse? How do you say horse? You don't remember? Usaid? You guys remember? Everyone memorized the vocab, right? We all vocab memorized? Okay. Okay, brother Riyaz, how do you say horse? No? Zubair? Hey, Sanan, very good. Bilal, how do you say camel? Nizam. Jamalun. Okay, next, rooster. Brother, sorry, how would you Anik? Anik. Okay, how do you say it? Okay. Let's all ensure that any vocab that we miss, we review it, inshallah. How, okay. Rooster. Let's come back to the people online. Sister Amina, how do you say rooster? Sister Amina, how do you say rooster? Deacon, yes, very good. Deacon. Okay, and then let's come back. Brother Aslam, how do you say teacher? Brother Aslam, how do you say teacher? There are multiple ways to say, but what's the one given in the book?
I don't remember.
Okay, no
Check.
problem. No problem. Sis Iman, how do you say teacher? Iman? How do you say teacher? Iman, how do you say teacher? Mudarrisun, very good, mudarrisun. And Sister Husna, how do you say handkerchief? Sister Husna, how do you say handkerchief? Handkerchief. Mindil. Mindilun. Okay, very good, students. All right, so let's go back to the kitab, inshallah ta'ala, and we'll begin from there. All right. I'm assuming we finished all of these exercises, right? Last week? Do you guys remember?
Yeah.
Okay, we're on lesson 2, correct? Okay. All right. So as a quick recap of last week's lesson, we learned about hada, which means this, and we learned various vocabulary words. And then we also learned the word, if you're asking a question, ma hada, you say, you use ma for. Can anybody tell me?
What?
What? Yes, but there's a difference between ma and man. What's the difference?
Mine
Is for human beings.
Okay.
One is for human beings and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes, yes.
Ma is for the things.
Okay, very good, mashallah. So man is for, you use it for humans, and also use the term man when referring to Allah Azza wa Jal. And then what do you call, ma is used for non-human beings. Ma is used for non-human beings. Now we're going to move on to the next lesson, inshallah ta'ala. Those who have their devices, they can follow along on the PDF online. Yes, Brother Danish?
The link to the class.
Oh, you don't have the link. Okay.
You can go to the app and there's a link join meeting. And then
But only should have it.
It's the same thing yesterday.
Same.
Don't worry, we'll wait, inshallah. Take your time. And then we'll begin, inshallah. In the meantime, if anyone has any questions or anything to discuss, please let me know. Yes, Sister Rida, you may, if anybody needs to send their homework, please send it to the email address, okay? As for now, for my class, I have to learn how this whole Canvas things work. It's new for me. So I didn't get a chance to sit with Mufti Kaman and set that up. I'm assuming they're already ahead with all of that. I have to just figure out how it works. Yes, I'm gonna post my email right here on the group. You guys can check it. Or on this chat box. If you guys are on the chat box, I can put it there. Okay, I sent it on the chat box. Okay. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmadu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem wa ba'd. The homework is due for every Saturday. So right before class, every Saturday, the homework is due. We should have it turned in by Saturday. Okay. All right. So let's go to lesson 2. Can everyone see my screen? Everyone online in class, everyone can see my screen? Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In this lesson, we learn the use of dhalika, meaning that, and what, meaning and. So as you guys all know, students, last week we did hada, and hada means this, dhalika means that. Does anybody know the difference between hada and dhalika? There's a subtle difference. Who can tell me? Those, perhaps some of you have already heard about this before or studied it in a class prior to this. Any?
It's the closer thing and.
MashaAllah, very good. Yes. So hada refers to something close. For example, I have this phone in front of me. I'm gonna say hada al-hatif, this phone. I'm not gonna say dhalika. That wouldn't make sense. Dhalika is used for something which is at a further distance. For example, like we'll say it's computer in the corner, I will say ذلك الحاسوب. ذلك الحاسوب, that computer. I wouldn't say this if it's that far. Okay, again, هذا refers to something close. هذا refers to something close, whereas ذلك refers to something at a further distance. Yeah, hasub. Hasub. Yeah, ha with the big ha. Hasub. And also we're going to learn about wa here. Wa means and. So these are simple, everyday words that we use in Arabic. And we see a lot in the Quran and when we pick up any Arabic literature. As you see in the first example, هذا بيت. وذلك مسجد. هذا بيت. This is a house, and that is a mosque. This is a house, and that is a mosque. Note, ذلك is pronounced ذلك, but it is written without the alif. As you can see here in this example here, ذلك, it doesn't, if you were to pronounce it literally, you will say ذلك, but that's not how you pronounce it. ذلك. The alif is hidden. It's understood. It's implied. So you say ذلك. That's how you're going to pronounce it. ذلك. The word wa is written close to the word following it. What does the word hasu mean? With the scene. This was an example I gave that was outside the book. It's not in the book. Hasub with the scene. The ha, alif, scene, wow, ba, it means computer. There was a student in the back of the classroom. I said, ذَلِكَ حَاسُوبٌ. That is a computer. وَهَذَا حَاتِفٌ. And this is a phone. Because his computer was at a greater distance, I used the word ذَلِكَ for referring to his computer. And for my phone, because it's right in front of me, I use the word هذا, this. Okay. Yes, brother Usaid.
So for ذلك, how we're checking the because there's
Yeah.
is that a rule that's applied in other words or just ذلك?
Similarly, in the word hada, and yeah, you will find in other words. Yeah, we're just highlighting here because we came across it right now. But you will find these in different words as well. Any other questions so far about this? Okay. Vocabulary. So we have the vocab here, imamun, we all know what that means. Hajarun, stone. Sugar, sukkarun. Milk, labanun. But one thing to understand about this word milk here. Milk, remember there's a difference between MSA and Fusha. Laban is more of a Fusha word. Let me illustrate to you by way of example. That's why it's important to, if you want to improve your speaking skills and your MSA, Modern Standard Arabic, not MSA like the colleges. No. You have to mix a lot with Arabs and hear the modern usage of Arabic. So one time there was some Arab brothers that visited my home, and there was a Syrian refugee. So they don't speak English, so I have to speak with them in Arabic. And you know, in Urdu we say "dood pati," right? Dood pati. So Arabs in Syria specifically, they don't really drink that. They drink black coffee. They don't even add creamer, or they'll drink tea. So I was making chai for them, and then I asked them. I said, "هل تريد أن أصب في شايك اللبن?" Do you want me to put leban milk in your tea? Because I knew that this was something that they were not used to and familiar. So laban in modern day Arabic, it's yogurt. So then he looked at the other brother. He was like, "What? Laban?" He had this look on his face, like these people they put yogurt in their chai. So and then the person he said, "La la halib halib." So halib, this is the modern way of saying milk, even though both are fusha, but usage wise, you say halib, you don't say laban. So you have to understand that not every Fusha word you can copy and paste it when you're speaking to someone. If a person understood Fusha, he'll know what you're talking about. But generally, the people who speak Arabic, the modern standard Arabic, many of the Fusha words are not familiar with. So you have to acquaint yourself with these technical differences.
Lebanon comes in the Quran, it would mean the
Milk, yes. Yes. So you guys see that? So Quran is pure Fusha. In Quran, the word laban does come up. So, yeah. This min bayni farthi. The Fufas can help me out. Yeah. Min bayni wa dami labana khalisan. Yes. Allah Ta'ala mentions about what's before that? The beginning of the ayat? نسقيكم من نسقيكم مما في بطونها. Yes, Allah Ta'ala talks about yeah. Surah ayat in Surah Muhammad, yes. من لبن لم يتغير طعمه. Allah Ta'ala says from milk لم يتغير طعمه. Its taste doesn't change. It hasn't changed. It's as is. So yes, this word comes. مثل الجنة التي وعد المتقون فيها أنهار. I have to do my revision. Okay. So that's just some extra details about this word. Okay. All right, if we all can look at الدرس الثاني, the second lesson, ذلك. So today we're going to be talking about the word ذلك. Let's all read together, inshallah. ما ذلك? What is that? ذلك نجم. That is a star. هذا مسجد. وَذَلِكَ بَيْتٌ. This is a masjid. And that is a house. هذا حصان. This is a horse. وَذَلِكَ حِمَارٌ. And that is a donkey. أَذَانِكَ كَلْبٌ. Is that a dog? لا. No. ذَلِكَ قِطٌ. That is a cat. A question I had for the students, that Hamza right there. What is that for? Does anybody remember? Question. Yes, when you're asking a question, you bring the Hamza before it. Yeah. Like for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "A'ilahum ma'allah." Is there another God with Allah? You'll find this example of Hamzatul Istifham, the Hamza for asking questions. You'll find it many places in the Quran. Ma dhalika? What is that? Dhalika sarirun. That is a bed. Man hadha? Who is this? Waman dhalika? And who is that? Hadha mudarrisun. This is a teacher. Wadhanika imamun. And that is an imam. I have another question for the students. How come there is a dhamma or dhammatain here? Why not fatha, kasra, or something else? Why dhammatain? Why two pesh specifically? Do you guys know? We discussed this last week, right? Yes. It's a noun, that's one, and then something else. But why not kasra or fatha? What's the?
By default, the noun has dhamma.
Yes, very good, brother Nizam. So by default, it will be dhamma or dhammatain. Over here, we keep it dhammatain, not dhamma. Why? Because there's no alif lam. If there's an alif lam, then we'll make it one dhamma. But if there's no alif lam, then we keep it two dhammas. So mudarrisun, imamun. By default, it will remain dhamma or dhammatain. If there's no other word governing, like for example, I say in Urdu, I say, for example, kitabun par. It's kitab, but when you're saying plural on the books, you see par, it affected the word kitab, making kitabun par. It was plural kitabe and then kitabun par. So you see in Urdu the word par, which is it's a particle, it affects and governs the word kitabu and it changes it. Similarly, you'll find other examples from the girls, ladkiyon se, right? Bacha, boy, bache ko, it became bache. You see, the code converted into a che. So similarly, in the Arabic language, you will find these examples as well. There are certain particles, certain words like fi, ila, ala, an. It will cause changes to the word. These are governing particles. But if the governing particles are not there by default, you're going to make it dhamma or dhammatain. Okay. Yes, Bilal, you have a question? So if there's an alif lam, you're going to make it single dhamma. For example, al-mudarrisu. You're going to say al-mudarrisu. At the end, the last letter. Remember, in Nahu, you discuss the final condition, the final letter. What state is it going to be in? In Nahu, you discuss the final letter. What state is it going to be in? Dhamma, fatha, kasra. So as for alif lam, if you bring alif lam, you say al-mudarrisu. And remember we discussed two things can never combine. What are those two things? Alif lam and tanween. Never. You can join alif lam and tanween. That is a major mistake. Why not fatha? What was the reason? Okay, so regarding fatha, you're going to learn this later. Regarding fatha, when does a word get a fatha? You're going to learn there's a specific thing that causes it to get a fatha. You're going to learn that, inshallah. This is what nahu is. You find out why a particular word got a kasra, why did it get a fatha, why did it get a dhamma, and this causes great change in the word. One time, there was an Arabi was a Bedouin, and he was listening to the Quran, one of the people reciting the Quran. And in the ayat, this is in the beginning of Surah At-Tawbah, where Allah Ta'ala mentions, Hufaz, I need your assistance, inshallah. Who's Hafiz here? Zubair? Anybody else? Usaid, you're Hafiz too, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay. براءة من الله ورسوله إلى الذين عاهدتم من المشركين فسيحوا في الأرض أربعة أشهر واعلموا أنكم غير معجز الله. Yeah, there you go. أن الله بريء من المشركين ورسوله. أن الله, verily Allah is absolved and He is free from the idolaters. وَرَسُولُهُ, and as well as His messenger, and as well Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is also exonerated and he is absolved from the mushrikeen. So one of the people, when they were reciting this ayat, they read it wrong. He said, أَنَّ اللَّهَ بَرِيءٌ مِّنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ وَرَسُولِهِ. This completely changes the meaning. If you read it this way, the incorrect way, na'udhu billah, means verily Allah is absolved from the mushrikeen and His messenger. Yani He's absolved from His messenger as well. So then the Bedouin, when he heard this, they're simple people. They said that if in that case, na'udhu billah, he said, I am also absolved from the messenger. So the Sahaba, they're like, what are you saying? The Muslims that were there, what are you talking about? You're absolved from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Then at once they took him to Amir al-Mu'mineen, Umar ibn al-Khattab. This was during his Khilafah, more or less. And he said, I heard that you said such and such thing. What's going on? He said, the Quran says, so if Allah is absolved from him, then I am also absolved from him. And then he said, no, this is, read it. What did you read? What did you hear? He said, this is how the ayat was read to me. He said, no, it's bari anna Allah bari'un min al-mushrikina wa rasuluhu. Allah is absolved from the mushrikeen, and also Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is absolved from the mushrikeen. So you see, there was a slight variation in the dhamma, and the slight variation in the haraka. Instead of reading it with a dhamma, he read it with a kasra. You see how drastically it just changed the whole meaning. وَرَسُولُهُ. So you see here, أَنَّ اللَّهَ بَرِيءٌ مِّنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ وَرَسُولُهُ. The person who was reading it, he made the min affect the word Rasul as well. Whereas it's only supposed to affect what? Mushrikeen. That's why it's mushrikeen, not mushrikun. Notice the difference. When it's mushrikun or it's mushrikeen, it became mushrikeen. Why? Because of the min. And then Rasuluhu, he made it Rasulihi. He carried the effect over to that and he completely changed the meaning. So that's why it's very, very critical for us to learn the Arabic language, because we can make serious mistakes like that. And then Umar radiallahu anhu, he made it binding to learn the Arabic language. He made it binding. And he didn't allow people to recite the Quran in this manner. He more or less reprimanded this type of approach where a person he reads the Quran and he doesn't know the Arabic language correctly. We must keep in mind the masahif back then, they were not like the masahif we have today in the sense that the dots, the harakat, that did not exist. That did not exist. This came afterwards when more and more non-Arabs began to accept Islam. Islam was spread throughout the different regions in the world. So it became difficult for people to recite the Quran without the dots and the harakat, etc. So these things were introduced later on for the sake of facilitating the recitation of the Quran. In Arabs today, if you give them a mushaf without no dots, harakat, it'll be very difficult for them to read. Now, what do you think about non-Arabs? So the Sahaba, they didn't have any of that. That's how well and strong the Arabic was, mashallah. Any questions so far with this?
When you say, Nukta and Aklaf were mentioned.
Yeah.
How about the Tashkil?
All these things weren't there.
What about the Tashkil?
No.
The Tashkil?
No. Yes.
It's very difficult.
Yeah. I'll try to find they have in the masahif of some of the Sahaba preserved. You can see if you can look online. I think the one that's in Turkey, Sayyidina Uthman's mushaf, you'll see clearly no dots, nothing. That was mashallah. That was the Sahaba. Those were the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. They were able to read without it. Yes, binding means necessary. So Umar radiallahu anhu, more or less, he made it binding for the people to learn the Arabic language correctly when in order to recite the Quran in the proper manner. Yes. So you say it one more time? No, none of that. No, not on the Jim, not on the Tha, nothing. They already knew. When they read it, they already knew, mashallah.
So,
Yeah.
in Gene was saying.
Same, yes. But when they looked at it, like let me write an example here. Yeah. For example. What word is this?
Yeah.
There you know. So that was how the Muslims looked like.
But there are certain words like there is a ayah. لا يسمعون إلى الملأ الأعلى.
Yeah.
This sama'una is only, I think, one place. It's not different places. And even the word sama'a is most of the places in the sama'a. But here especially
لا يسمعون yeah.
in Surah Al-Safat, there is لا يسمعون.
لا يسمعون إلى الملأ الأعلى. Yes. So even that they understood. They understood that this is how this, because remember, the recitation of Quran is understanding how to recite the Quran is based on ilqa. A person hears it from their teacher like this, and the chain going back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam recite it, and then they had a chain. They heard other Sahaba like this. Even till this day, people have a chain in their recitation of the Quran. Some people have ijazat in hafs, they have ijazat in other qira'at. So this all goes back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's based on ilqa. Okay. Someone asked a question. So does it become fard on Muslims to learn Arabic then? I mean, fard is you see, fard is a strong term. It will mean that in that case, all the Muslims will be sinful if they didn't. Fard means like your fard prayer. So not necessarily fard, but it is something that is greatly emphasized. It's something that is greatly emphasized. And obviously you need to, you have to contextualize that incident that I narrated to of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. You have to understand that by them not learning Arabic correctly, because remember, they didn't have the harakat or anything. So by them not learning correct Arabic language, that would have led to them mispronouncing the Quran. And imagine if they were to teach that, they would teach it incorrectly if they didn't learn the Arabic language correctly. So as for us, it's something that is greatly emphasized. And as for the layman, the layperson, what they have to do is they have to know their fard al-ain, those things that are obligatory for them, salat, taharat, and basic things. If you're going for Hajj, learning how to do that, how to give zakat. These are the fard al-ain. And then you have fard al-kifaya. Fard al-kifaya, Arabic is fard al-kifaya in the sense that there has to be a group of people that preserve the Arabic language. If everyone were to, let's just say, if everyone were to just neglect the Arabic language, then the community, the Muslim Ummah, will become sinful. Let's just say in our localities here, if people were just to completely neglect it, then of course this will entail sin. But Fardul Kifaya, if a group of people take care of it, then the obligation falls off of the rest, and then for the rest of people, it will remain something that's highly emphasized. It's rewarding, but as for us, we have to, because we're talking about the Quran, we have to ensure that we recite the Quran properly with tajweed and everything. This is something which we have to be more concerned about. But if you want to take that extra step and gain the best experience from the Quran, then you have to learn Arabic. It's necessary. I'm not, when I say necessary, don't always think the fiqh necessary, but necessary in the sense that if you really want to learn the Quran correctly, you have to learn the Arabic language. Like, let me give you one small example, one simple example. Allah Ta'ala says in the beginning of Surah Al-Isra, فَإِذَا وَقَضَيْنَا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ فِي الْكِتَابِ لَتُفْسِدُنَّ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَّتَيْنِ وَلَتَعْلُنَّ عُلُوًّا كَبِيرًا فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ أُولَاهُمَا بَعَثْنَا عَلَيْكُمْ عِبَادًا لَنَا. So Allah Ta'ala discusses Banu Israel in Surah Al-Isra, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help our brothers and sisters suffering in Palestine. May Allah Ta'ala give victory to the Muslims. So Allah Azza wa Jal mentions here that وَقَضَيْنَا, we revealed to Banu Israel our judgment in the book, in the Torah. وَقَضَيْنَا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ فِي الْكِتَابِ لَتُفْسِدُنَّ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَّتَيْنِ. You will most definitely cause corruption in the earth twice. وَلَتَعْلُنَّ عُلُوًّا كَبِيرًا, and you will most definitely elevate yourself a great elevation, i.e. you'll be very arrogant. So Allah Ta'ala says, فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ أُولَاهُمَا, when the promise of the first two corruptions come, i.e. once you have committed that first corruption, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised, فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ أُولَاهُمَا بَعَثْنَا عَلَيْكُمْ عِبَادًا لَنَا. We are going to send towards you slaves that belong to us. أُولِي بَأْسٍ شَدِيد, they are very powerful. أولي بأس شديد فجاسوا خلال الديار, and they will search out the homes, i.e. they're going to massacre you, coming and going, they're going to massacre you one by one. And that's exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did. Allah Ta'ala sent an army against them. These were non-Muslims, and they just massacred the Banu Israel. So my point being here, in connection to, for us to understand the importance of the Arabic language, notice here Allah Ta'ala says, Ibadan lana. Ibadan. Allah didn't say ibadi or ibadana. You guys, it's a very subtle thing right here. For example, in other places in the Quran, Allah Ta'ala says, Ibad, Ibadur Rahman, Ya ibadi alladhina asrafu. Say the ayat, قل عبادي أسرفوا على أنفسهم. How does it go? Yes, Allah Ta'ala mentions ibadi. Subhanalladhi asra bi abdihi. You guys see that? Allah is attributing these ibad, servants of His, to Himself. But how come Allah Ta'ala here mentioned, He didn't say ibadana, our slaves. And He said ibadan lana, slaves that belong to us. Because these were non-Muslims. Allah didn't want to attribute them to Himself. You guys following? Allah Ta'ala sent this non-Muslim army to punish Banu Israel due to their corruption. And Allah Ta'ala used the word ibadan lana, not ibadana. Allah didn't want to attribute them to Himself because they were disbelieving people. So these subtleties, if you open up, if you open up the translation, it's going to say our servants. You're not going to get that. The translation is not going to tell you that. You're not going to understand that subtle point right there. So this further illustrates to us the importance of the Arabic language. Okay. And there are many examples. Like this is just one example. There are many examples. So mashallah, this is a great favor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You guys are blessed. May yuridillahu bihi khayran yufaqihu fi din. For whomsoever Allah ta'ala wants good, Allah Azza wa Jal, He gives him a deep understanding of the religion. MashaAllah, because of your love of the Quran, you are all sitting here today. This is a great sign. Allah Ta'ala wants khair and good for you, MashaAllah. And this is our effort. This is the fruits of our effort. When a person accepts Islam, you want to, they're supposed to do taraqi and ascend in their spirituality and their deen. Like Mullah Ilyas Rahimullah, the founder of the current tablighi effort that we have, when he was starting the effort of tabligh, many of the ulama, they objected to him during the time in India. They said, "What are you doing, Maulana Sahib? What is going on?" Because it was something which was new, and he came up with 6 points, the 6 points of tabligh, the 6 foundational points. Iman, kalima tayyiba, ilm min salat, ilm min dhikr, and then brothers help me out. Ikram al-Muslim, ikhlas, and da'wat al-tabligh. So he says, they said, how are you going to restrict such a vast religion in 6 points? How is this possible? There's so many other things. There's hajj, zakat, mu'amalat, mu'asharat, akhlaq. How are you going to encompass such a vast deen in 6 points? Oh, Maulana Sahib, what's going on? He said, yeah, mere kam ka bismillah. He said, this is the bismillah of my effort. Meaning that these 6 points, this is just the beginning. After that, they have to do more. But once these 6 points come in the lives of people, then inshallah, they're going to learn other things as well. So what does this tell us about it? Meaning we don't stop here. Like mashallah, brothers here, alhamdulillah, they're doing effort of deen, and at the same, mashallah, they're taking it. Now we have to go to the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th point. We have to keep on going. So this is where it starts off. Many people, they don't understand the subtle point. Whatever we're doing, whatever, if a person, for example, he's learning in maktab, and they finish maktab, or he's taking some class, some adults Islamic studies, but it's basic. You don't stop there. You have to keep on going to make more and more taraqi in your spirituality, in your deen. And the more ilm that you get, the more khashya, the more fear of Allah Azza wa Jal will come into your heart. The more qurb and closeness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be experienced. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Like Allah Ta'ala says, only those slaves of Allah Ta'ala fear Him, al-ulama, those who have knowledge. So meaning the more ilm that you get, the more your khashya and your fear of Allah Azza wa Jal should increase.
Here when you mentioned it is ibadi.
Yes.
Like ibadallah.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. Ibadallah, yes. Okay, students. So let's finish this part off, and then inshallah, we'll take a short break and then we'll do more work inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so let's come back to this. هذا مدرس وذلك إمام. This is a teacher and that is an imam. ما ذلك? What is that? ذلك حجر. That is a stone. هذا سكر. This is sugar. وذلك لبن. And that is milk. Okay, so let's look at the tamreen. Over here, tamreen means exercise. اقرأ واكتب. Read and write. So we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then for classwork, inshallah, we'll do this. We'll take a 10-minute break, and then for classwork, we'll come back, and then we'll write this and do it, inshallah. Okay? Okay, take it. Yeah, yeah.
I would like to say, being pronounced a couple of different Banu Israel and Banu Israel. Are they both the same?
Yeah, so a very good question. Banu Israel, again, it depends on the governor. So Banu Israel, you say by default to keep it Banu Israel. Banu Israel. But you notice in the ayat in the Quran, وَقَضَيْنَا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. Ila, it caused the waw to become a ya. Ila Bani Israel.
If you just speaking English and you want to say Banu, then you say Banu Israel.
Yeah, Banu Israel. Yes. Danish, you put laban in there, huh?
No, what is that other word?
Halib.
Khalid. The learning Quran from a teacher who has a chance or connection is very like that comes in.
Jazakallah, shukriya, jazakallah khair.
That comes वो first के बराबर है
कैसा है?
कुरान शरीफ को सही तरीके से
जी बेहतर यही है कि उन कारी साहब से हम सीखे जिनके पास इजाजत हो, लेकिन अगर इजाजत नहीं होती है मिसाल के तौर पर, लेकिन सही तरीके से वो पढ़ते हैं तो उनसे भी सीख सकते हैं, कोई मसला नहीं। लेकिन अगर आपको इजाजत मिलनी है और इजाजत चाहिए आपको, तो फिर एक क्वालिफाइड जिनके पास सनद हो उनके पास पढ़ना होगा।
प्रोनाउंसिएशन का आप जैसा बोलते हैं गलती हो सकती है
जी हाँ
जिसके पास इजाजत है तो
जी लेकिन ऐसे लोग भी हैं कि वो बाकायदा वो सनद नहीं है जो नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम तक वो पहुंचता है, लेकिन फिर भी क़िराअत अच्छी है, सही है। जी आप चाय नहीं पियेंगे? कैसे निजाम है, खैरियत से? फैमिली सब ठीक है? अल्लाह का शुक्र है, अल्लाह का फजल है। Yes, inshallah, we'll come to your questions at the end. If there's anything outside not related, we'll come to that, inshallah. No problem. Let's finish this section. Okay, students, please go and do the tamreen. And online students, please email me. Everyone has my email. Please write the tamreen. It says iqra waqtu. Read it out loud and also write it too. Read it out loud and write it too. Those who are in person, I'll come around and check it, inshallah. Yes. Sorry, say that one more time. You don't worry about the translation for right now. Just I want you to focus on reading out loud. You have to get your tongues used to the Arabic language. So practice reading out loud, and then also write it down. This will help your reading and your writing. How's it going so far? Do you guys finish? Okay, so very good. Yes, yes. This way, Jack. This way, Jack. Yeah. How's it going, Mr. Bear? So are you finished? Oh, great. How's your? All set? The more you guys write, the more your writing will become better. Oh, they go down here. Well, very good. Very good. Please have a- Yes, yes.
Right? Like the gas. You know that you could write it like this,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's also like they wrote it like this at the end.
Yeah, so. I didn't send a Arabic writing book yet, did I, on the group? I didn't send it? Okay. So,
You just change the form of it if it's at the end of it.
so the calf, when it's written at the end, it's gonna be written in this form.
Mm.
You see, letters, they change based on the position. So for example, if they come in the beginning, they'll look a different way. If they come in the middle, at the end, like take for example the ayn. The ayn looks different when it's the first letter. It looks different if it's in the second letter position, and then it changes form. Same letter, just different format.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, inshallah, I'm gonna send you guys a book. Let me figure out which book this is. Let me contact Milana Karman. What was that? Oh, the Canva? Oh, after class you have time? After class you have time? Inshallah. Okay, okay. See you, inshallah. Mashallah, you guys are all IT, so you guys know this stuff. Yes. Okay, okay, I'll check it. Nizam bhai, you used Canva before?
No, just common sense.
Okay, okay.
Just,
Okay, okay,
yeah, thanks.
okay. That'll be good.
You train us Arabic?
Inshallah, there you go. That's a good deal. The thing is that me and Sheikh Karman, we have so many responsibilities with madrasa. We get caught up. I say, when are we gonna meet? I was supposed to meet with them on the campus. Then we get busy and everything. Then we have the maktab and the masjid responsibility. So we're always busy with that. So inshallah, if you guys help us with the IT stuff, that'll be very good. Inshallah.
So Lebanon
Yeah.
can never become Lebanon, right?
Lam?
Lebanon.
What you mean with the
When I go to a store
yes.
and I see well,
Uh-huh.
Uber that says Lebanon something, it's not Lebanon. Lebanon though something.
Yeah, like if you go like to some of the halal markets, where the Arab or Desi, I don't know if you guys seen that it says like kefir cheese, something like that. A lot of people eat it with rice and everything. So if you notice, it'll say laban on there. So that Arabs, when you say laban, they think you're referring to that. Yeah. It's like a yogurt. It's not. I don't think it's exactly or it's similar to yogurt.
Yogurt drink.
It's like a yogurt drink. Yes. Yes. So next time when you guys go to the store, you'll see it there, inshallah.
Does that right? Lebanon or Lebanon?
Oh, okay. So you're asking, is it with the fatha?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it does not put harakat. And people say it Lebanon though, not Lebanon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Another thing. In a colloquial slang Arabic, that which is spoken on the streets and amongst themselves, they don't take into consideration the harakat. They'll so don't be like, oh, he's making mistakes. They don't care about it. Like they'll say alayhum, they'll say for example, they'll make a lot of nahu mistakes, but they don't really take into consideration. Yeah, it's like maybe you could give us examples like Urdu, like slang versus, I don't know, do we say Fusha Urdu or no? Or proper proper Urdu, like grammar Urdu.
What are you doing?
Oh,
It would be, "Kya kaam kar rahe ho?"
okay, there you go.
"Kya kaam kar rahe ho?"
Okay. So based on dialect, right?
That's Hyderabad.
Oh, Hyderabadi, okay.
Kama means plural of kam, which is not even needed.
Okay. I also in Hyderabadi, I heard tumne kya kara, right? Kara, but I think formal Urdu is kya, right?
Yeah.
Tumne kya kiya, and then in Hyderabad say kara, right?
What did you do?
Tumne kya kara?
What did you do?
Yeah. Okay, but correcto, it's
not a Urdu, kara.
yeah.
Yeah.
Formal is kya, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Karane.
Okay.
Or like there's another example. जा रहे हैं नहीं जा रहे हो तो we can shorten that जा रहे
जा रहे
can.
Yeah.
सब हो जाता है.
Okay. Same thing in Amiya Urdu, Arabic, Amiya, the colloquial, they take a lot of shortcuts. Like same thing in Urdu. Like you guys, kya kar rahe ho? And kya kar rahe, right? Kya kar rahe? Yeah, sorry. So like, for example, in colloquial, when you stay with Arabs, you start noticing it. That's what, when I spent a lot of time with Philistinis and say, I noticed it. Like hakada, like this, isi tara, hakada, they say hik. لأي شيء why لأي شيء क्यों لأي شيء ليش لأي شيء ليش. You guys probably heard this before. That's where it comes from. Other examples, حائط wall, hit. So they take a lot of shortcuts. You just have to focus and then you'll figure it out what they're doing. Okay, we have a few questions here. Do we email it now or at the end of class? You may email it now. You can email it now, inshallah. Also, how do we know whether to use man or ma? So man is for when you're referring to human beings. When you're referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you use man. And ma you use for non-human objects. Ma you use for non-human objects. For example, someone entered into the classroom, I don't know who it is, I say man dakhala. Man dakhala as-saf. Man dakhala. I say man dakhala. Who entered? But if I want to ask you what's in the cup, I don't know, is it soda, is it coffee, is it tea? I say ma fil ka's. Ma huwa fil ka's. Ma huwa fil ka's, or madha fil ka's. I use the word ma instead, referring to non-human objects. So we email the exercise question 1 to 4. Once we're done reading on it, yes, please send it, and I will look over it to see how you're doing. And again, those who are struggling with writing, as soon as I can, once I get the book, I will forward it. If I forget to, please remind me on the WhatsApp group. What is the meaning of hajarun, stone? Okay, I have to head out. Inshallah, I will try to. Okay, no problem.
What's the book name?
Regarding the writing?
Yeah.
So I'm trying, there are multiple books. I'm making mashura with Sheikh Karman regarding which book to have you guys use. Inshallah, once I figure that out, I'll send it to you, inshallah. All right, so next we have Al-Kalimat al-Jadida. As we all know, Imamun, Hajarun, Sukkarun, Labanun. Only 4 words for this week. Okay, we have about 25 minutes. Should we do another lesson? That lesson was pretty short. What do you guys think? Should we do another lesson? Or do you guys want to stop there? Should we? Let's see. Let's see how long this is. Or will that be overwhelming for you?
No, we'll have something for the week if we study
Okay.
the next one. We'll
Please give your feedback. So we have 20. One more lesson? Okay. How about you guys? You guys want to do another lesson? Everyone's good with that? Okay. Students online? Another lesson is good. Tika, let's do another lesson, inshallah. All right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmadu wa nusalli ala rasulina kareem wa ba'd. All right. Lesson 3. In this lesson, we learned the use of the Arabic definite article al, which corresponds to the English the. So, for example, a cup, ka'sun, the cup, al-ka'su. So I made it definite. When I say al, we know what we're talking about now. Hatifun, the phone, al-hatifu, the phone. The board, a board, sabburatun, a board, add an alif lam, as-sabburatu. Hat, qalansuwatun, the hat, al-qalansuwatu. So if you want to make something definite and known, you just add an alif lam to it. Now it becomes known what you are talking about. When the definite article al is prefixed to a noun, naturally the indefinite article noon, yani the tanween, is dropped. So like for example, baytun al-baytu. So what dropped off here? The extra dhamma. Now it's no longer a dual dhamma, it's a single dhamma. Al-baytu. Remember we said that alif lam and the tanween, they cannot come together. You cannot put them together, so you have to drop off the tanween and make it singular. Arabic has 28 letters. Of these, 14 letters are called solar letters, al-huruf al-shamsiyah, and the other 14 are called lunar letters, al-huruf al-qamariyah. In the articulation of the solar letters, the tip or the blade of the tongue is involved, as in T, N, R, S, etc. I'm going to explain this. Don't worry. This is not hard. It's easy. It's explained a little bit technically here, but don't worry. I'll explain it. The tip or the blade of the tongue does not play any part in the articulation of the lunar letters, as B, W, M, K, etc. When alif lam is prefixed to a noun beginning with a solar letter, the lam of al is assimilated to the solar letter. Ash-shamsu, the sun, is pronounced as ash-shamsu. Look, okay, let me explain to you guys. Very simple. Okay, very simple. In the huruf shamsiyah, the solar letters, what this means is when you read it, you're gonna bypass the lam. When there's an alif lam word, so take for example, as you can see, the example here is giving ash-shamsu. You see here ash-shamsu in your book. So all you do is bypass the lam. You say ash-shamsu, ash-shamsu. You don't say al-shamsu. You guys following? You don't say al-shamsu. In the Quran, for example, was-safati. Sad is also a solar letter. Was-safati. You don't say wal-safati. You guys following? Any other examples from the Quran? Solar letters? Any students? Feel free to. Very good. Ar-Rahman. You don't say Al-Rahman. Again, so solar letters, when they come after the alif lam, whenever pronouncing it, you skip the lam. You don't pronounce it. The lam becomes silent and you go straight to the solar letter. Ar-Rahman. You went straight to the ra. Wash-shamsi wa-duhaha. Wash-shamsi, you went straight to the sheen. Wa-dhariyati dharwa. You went straight to the dhal. You bypassed the lam. Any other examples from the Quran? Assalamu alaikum. Very good. Assalam. Seen. Any other example? Students? التائبون العابدون التائبون تا حروف شمسية التائبون you skipped the lam and you went straight to that. And then lunar letters on the other hand, al-huruf al-qamariyah, you do not bypass the lam. You have to pronounce it. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى. Oh yeah, that shows me, my bad, sorry. وَالنَّهَارِ. No, that's also وَالنَّهَارِ, that's also Shamsi, sorry. Yes, definitely, yes, definitely. Yeah, that but it's huruf shamsiyah, my bad. Don't that I let me rephrase that. Lam is huruf shamsiyah. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى. وَالنَّهَارِ ذَاتَ جَلَى. Noon is also shamsiyah. Al-Qari'ah, very good. So Qaf. Qaf is from huruf qamariyah, therefore you have to pronounce the what, guys? The alif lam. You have to pronounce it, make it clear. You can't say Al-Qari'ah. That's incorrect. Al-Qari'ah. Mal-Qari'ah. Any other examples? No. Sad is shamsiyah because you pronounce the sad. You see? Remember, whenever you make the alif lam silent, then and you go to the next letter, that means that it's huruf shamsiyah. Huruf qamariyah means you pronounce the lam. Like al-qari'ah. You pronounce the lam. Al-haqa, very good. Ha is also huruf qamariyah. Al-haqa. Good. Al-fil. Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. Bi ashabil fil. Any other examples? So fa here is a huruf qamari. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Very good. So everyone understand this concept so far? Huruf Shamsiyah, Huruf Qamariyah. Can anybody summarize it for us? Nizam?
14 letters are Shamsi.
Yes.
With that Shamsi letter, we cannot pronounce lam. We skip the lam and join the letter.
Yes, very good.
Shamsi.
And what about Huruf Qamariyah? What is that?
Huruf Qamariyah is where we pronounce the lam. Alif lam.
Okay.
Lam is pronounced.
Very good, mashallah. Okay. Jazakumullah. All right, let's go back to the lesson. So, no change takes place in writing. Ash-shamsu. The assimilation is indicated by the shadda on the first letter of the noun. As you can see here, there's a shadda on the sheen. And no such assimilation takes place with the lunar letters. Al-qamaru, the moon is pronounced al-qamaru. So as you can see here, no, you didn't bypass the lam. Here are some more examples of the assimilation of the alif and al to the solar letter. Yani, when you go to the next letter and you skip the lam. An-najmu becomes an-najmu. Al-diku becomes ad-diku. Ad-diku. You skip the lam. Al-rajulu becomes ar-rajulu. Al-samaku becomes as-samaku. See the table of lunar and solar letters, page 19 in the Arabic section. Note that the A of al is pronounced only when it is not preceded by another word. When it is not preceded by another word. If it is preceded by a word, it is dropped in pronunciation, though it remains in writing al-baytu. Here, the A is pronounced, but if it is preceded by a wow, meaning and, the A is dropped and the phrase is pronounced wal baytu and not wa al baytu. So he gives a good example here. To indicate this omission in pronunciation, this sign right here is placed above the hamza. So this is very easy, guys, very simple. All he's saying, I'm going to summarize this for you and simplify it. You see this term here, if you guys see on my screen here, wal baytu, do you guys see that? Wal baytu. So all he's saying is that, let's just imagine that the wow is not there. You're going to say what? Al baytu, correct? So if another letter is preceding it, you're going to skip the alif. And you're going to say wal baytu. You guys following? You're not going to say wa al bayt. That's wrong. That's not the way to read Arabic. Technically, it makes sense, but in terms of reading, you don't read it that way. You connect it. You say wal baytu, not wa al baytu. Or for example, washamsu. You don't say wa ashamsu. Or a table. Wa al maktabu. You don't say that. You say wal maktabu. Wal qalansuwatu. Wal والساعة والنظارة والحذاء. You connect the wow with the lam. You do not, or the harf shamsi. You do not read the alif, and that's why he says that the sign is put there to let you know. If you guys use the copy of the Quran, which is published in Madina or in the Arab countries, you will see this sign here. You guys see this? What does it mean? It means that the hamza will not be pronounced. Did everyone understand that so far? Everyone understood this?
That's all on.
This is not, it looks like a sad, but it's not. It's a particular sign, but it means that the alif sound is omitted. You don't pronounce it. Okay.
So in the Usmani text that we read, the Quran, how
Yeah.
is that?
I don't remember seeing that. I mean, inshallah, when you guys go home, maybe you could check. I don't remember you seeing this in. It doesn't have it, right? Yeah, yeah, it does have it. But in the Arab copies, it has this one.
We have haraka directly.
Yeah, directly.
And it is
Yes.
left
Mm.
without any haraka.
Yes.
Not there.
So
Mhm.
if this was in the Usmani text, then it would be a jazam over there, right? If you're reading it one by,
Khali. No haraka on it.
no, if it's read as one by,
Well, wait, yeah.
then it should have a jazam on it, right? In the text that we read.
Yeah. It will have a jazm on the lam.
No.
Yeah, on the lam, yes. The initial vowel a, e, or u, which is omitted when preceded by a word, is called hamzatul wasl. Hamzatul wasl. So this hamza right here is hamzatul wasl. Hamzatul wasl. Yeah, yani the sound is omitted because there's a letter before it. You're gonna make wasl. You're gonna connect the wow. In this case, you're gonna connect the wow. You're gonna do wasl of it to the lam. That's why it's called hamzatul wasl. It's the connecting hamza. It connects the sound of the previous letter with the lam or the harf shamsi. So for example, that's lesson. Yes, continue on. The door is open. Al-babu maftuhun. The door is open. Al-qalamu maksurun. The pen is broken. No, we have learned that tanween is the indefinite article, and it is to be translated as a. For example, baytun, a house. We learned this in the previous lesson as well. That's very simple. This does not apply to adjectives like maftuhun, open, and maksurun, broken, because these are adjectives. You're not going to say a broken or a open. You're not going to say that. It doesn't make sense. So rather you're going to say you're going to use the word a for nouns. Like in order to think like koi gar, any house. koi gar, koi, what else? Yeah,
Just the
yeah,
there is no definite.
yeah. And when you say koi, but then it becomes common, right? Koi topi, koi admi, koi ladki, koi pyala, any. So A will help you. If you translate A in Urdu, koi, it gives the meaning of commonness. Can be anything. But when you make it definite, you subtract the koi and then you just read it like this. Gar. Okay, so rich vocabulary. This is the vocabulary here. Inshallah, what I want the students to do for homework is memorize the vocabulary and also write it down as well with the Arabic and the English translation. And this will help you memorize it and also help you in your writing as well, inshallah. Okay, so you guys could do that for homework. Everyone knows what to do for homework?
So this page, you can upload that to the,
Which page?
the.
You guys have the book, correct? Do you guys have the book? The PDF?
No.
I didn't I send the PDF on the group?
Oh, did that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The group thing get lost, but if it gets up on the canvas under that one module, then.
Okay.
Yeah,
Brother Nizam, maybe you can help me with that, inshallah.
Sure.
Inshallah.
It's downloaded, but it's not the exact version
Okay.
from someone else.
Different editions of the Madina book, different,
Yes, inshallah, I'll upload it on the canvas, the books. I think sometimes the brothers or sisters join a little bit late on the WhatsApp group and then it's not there.
Yeah.
Right?
And then even in the chat, like on Zoom, like
Yeah.
you join late or you leave and you back, you lose that all the chat.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah. So inshallah, I'll right after class I'll post all this, inshallah, okay? MashaAllah, I finally have an assistant, mashallah. Someone can help me with these things. Wait, so for adjectives, do we still keep the tanween even if we have the indefinite article? Yes, you still keep the tanween, Sister Shanza, you still keep it. But what the author is saying is that you're not going to translate it, the adjectives as A. You're not going to translate it just because it has tanween, you're going to say it's A. That's more for nouns, you say A. Is this book the Madina series? Yes. Okay, so lastly, let's go to the Arabic version of this dars, so everyone knows what to do, correct? Let's go to the Arabic version, and then we'll close up shop, inshallah. الدرس الثالث, the third lesson. Everyone, please read it with me. Baytun al-baytu. So you notice here, we first we said baytun, any house is common, a house, and then we made it definite. We made it known. We added the alif lam, and then another change we made here, we dropped the tanween and we gave it a single dhamma. Kitabun, al-kitabu, qalamun, al-qalamu, jamalun, al-jamalu, al-qalamu maksurun. The pen is broken. Al-babu maftuhun. The door is open. Al-waladu jalisun. The boy is sitting. Wal-mudarrisu waqifun. And the teacher is standing. Let's look at the exercise here. Al-kitabu jadidun. The book is new. Wal-qalamu qadimun. And the pen is old. Number 2, al-himaru saghirun. The donkey is small. Wal-hisanu kabirun. And the horse is big. Number 3, al-kursiyu maksurun. The chair is broken. Number 4, al-mindilu wasikhun. The handkerchief is dirty. Number 5, al-ma'u baridun. The water is cold. Number 6, al-qamaru jamilun. The moon is beautiful. Number 7, al-baytu qaribun. The house is near. Wal masjidu ba'idun. And the masjid is far. Number 8, al-hajaru thaqilun. The stone is heavy. Wal waraqu khafifun. And the paper is light. Number 9, or waraq can also mean leaf. The leaf is light. You can see that as well. Number 9, al-labanu harun. The milk is hot. Number 10, al-qamisu nadifun. The shirt is clean. Okay, so here are some تمارين here. اقرأ واكتب مع الضبط أواخر الكلمات. Read, write along with writing the last parts of the writing tashkil, meaning writing the harakat at the end of the words. These words are to be read and written with the correct ending. Correct ending meaning write the dhamma or the dhammatain. So for example, masjidun. Masjidun is with tanween. And al-masjidu has no tanween. That's what it means to writing the correct ending. Make sure you write that. So these exercises you can, let's see how much you guys have. Okay. I don't want to give you guys too much. So what I want you guys to do for homework is do number 1 and 2, okay? That's not going to be too much work, is it? Or is that too much? Yes, vocab plus exercise 1 and 2. Is that good? Okay. Vocab plus exercise 1 and 2. And then we'll go over it in class, okay? اقرأ واكتب, and then in this next part, just read and write. That's all you have to do. Read and write. Very simple. Yeah. Exercise 1 and 2 for homework, and then the vocabulary. Any questions so far? Someone asked about Qunut Nazila, how it's done, etc. Yes, we should definitely do the Qunut Nazila when a calamity strikes. Then that's when the Qunut Nazila is read. It can be done individually or in a group, and it's done in the second rakat after the imam, he comes up from the ruku'. Then he will start the Qunut Nazila, and then we see Amin silently, meaning in a low voice, not loudly. And we don't raise our hands in the Qunut Nazila. This is per Hanafi madhab. We don't raise our hands in the Qunut Nazila. We say Amin quietly. And you can do this also if you're alone. You can do Qunut Nazila when you're praying individually. And to make dua for our brothers and sisters that are suffering in Gaza and Palestine in general. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relieve them of their suffering. Only in Fajr. Other madhab they do in other salawat as well. And the Hanafi madhab is done only in Fajr.
Then we do in another imam, that Shafi imam.
Yeah.
And for them, because we are behind them, they do in another salat. We do it.
Yeah.
But do we then raise the hands?
No raising hands.
Yes. It's not according to Hanafi.
Yeah.
I do not raise hands and there is no Qunut Nazil in another salat. But when I'm following him in another salat, do I need to follow imam completely, or?
You don't have to raise your hands. Even even though they raise their hands in other madhab, but you don't have to raise your hands. Yeah, you could just say, for example, in the Fajr, when you're praying behind the imam, you can say Ameen quietly. That'll be enough. Oh yeah. Jazakallah khair. Okay, let me see.
So it should have on idea. When they upload the recording, are they uploading as like a YouTube video or YouTube? Yeah. So you can system that. Actually, I think
YouTube video is good because everybody has the app and they can just click the link and get started with it. Yeah, that's it takes a lot of memory, so it takes uploading all these videos to download them and print them.